I once sat betwixt the branches of a tree, a fine old oak, a being of unmatched beauty, and it was there a crow came to visit me, his eyes alight with curiosity. Slowly hopping up the branches below, this poor soul had embraced a heavy blow. His wing broken, his kingdom left him long ago. Not much remains of this old saddened crow. "It unbecomes you to pity me," said he. "There's more to the world than this here tree, and there's still nowhere I couldn't be, even now that flying is beyond me." "And what brought you to me?" said I. "I haven't had a visitor in the longest time. I was told to wait here for the 9, and so, in this tree, I yet reside." "The 9, he said, curious but scared. "No crow has tried to find them, none have ever dared." "Why do you say that?" I said. "Please, leave no details spared." The crow smiled. "I did not think you would have cared. The 9 are whispers if you listen closely. Of course, we can't hear them now over the voices of we, but if you somehow escaped this tree, I'm sure they would one day get to thee. The 9 are music, so loud yet soft. They are the ones who raise our spirits aloft and take them down below the darkest docks, places that only melodies can unlock. The 9 are the knowledge that we could never know. We learn only the fragments that their generosity bestows. Out there in the wilds, I'm sure there's a place for us both, but here under the clouds, the 9 are simply beyond the mind of a crow. The 9 are magic with maths and miracles, performing such art without breaking sweat or cracking knuckles. Their thoughts are problems too hard for us to tackle, their likes beyond even the wisest of oracles. "Need I continue?" asked the crow solemnly. "If you're as smart as you look, you can probably see right through the guise of all this poetry. What's important is what the 9 mean to thee." "I'm sorry," I said. "I don't quite understand. This means nothing to the likes of a man." "It will one day," the crow replied. "Just return to the land and make good use of your 2 human hands." A moment of calm passed between us. As I looked away from my new friend of feathers, I reminisced of all my past endeavours before I found the courage to ask of his. "Tell me, I beg you, what happened to your wing? Only if you'd be okay with telling me." He looked out at the horizon where the light was fading, then back to me and began to sing. "My people have a song for those like I, damned and condemned to never fly. And while it once brought a tear to my eye, I realized life was starting to pass me by. So here's the elegy I'm bound to whistle, with my left wing all battered and brittle, and while my body may be little, my voice is as proud as that of song or missile. Where my talents take me, to see the world so near, I may never see its beauty from a faraway pier. I find a path of my own, along the warmth of ground, for the skies once my home are now just out of bounds. My family remember the hooded and the cloaked, and they wish me all the luck that I could have ever hoped. And I am now at liberty to explore where I can go. I'm blessed for I am free, yet cursed as a flightless crow. A silence passed once again, as I was lost for words. The crow had a beautiful singing voice of a kind I'd never heard. I couldn't believe his abandonment. Their system seems absurd, but who am I to judge, for I am not a flying bird. The crow spoke again. There was a war, a battle that I led, and on that scorched battlefield was where my fingers bled. I fell out of the sky, my wings and talons red. I didn't know it then, but I'd never rise again, he said. I became a hero as we won that bloody day. My last battle was a victory, but not one that I could claim. My family were ashamed to see me walk astray, but thus is our kingdom's way. They probably all think I'm gone by now, but even after all this time I have survived somehow. It's a story for another time if you ever climb down from this old oak tree that has you bound. As he spoke, the branches moved underneath my feet, forming a pathway to the ground beneath, and when I hit it hard, all tired and weak, the crow leapt down and landed beside me. And now you're free, like a flightless crow. The tree has loosened its grip on you. I know not what you did to be locked up all alone, but it's a story I've time for, if I were to walk with you. Where would we go? I asked. And what of the 9? The crow said wisely, how many empty days have already passed you by? Become like them, and move with the winds like I. After all, you don't really need wings to fly. So you're one of them then? I asked. The crow looked at me and sighed. I never said that. But your words imply magic and knowledge I could only guess at, and you already showed me your music, your ballad. It's an elegy, the crow corrected, for banishment is like dying. No matter how they respect you, they can't cure your loss of flying, and it's no use to anyone sulking around and crying, nor is sitting in a tree and waiting for the mythical 9. I gasped. The 9 aren't real. The crow whispered, that depends on your belief. Just like the gods that no one's ever seen, we can only feel them in our love and in our grief, but that doesn't mean they're not real to me. And so I got to my feet, and I looked out at the wilds ahead, then down to the crow, a real friend. Without him, that oak tree would have surely seen my end. And so I spoke one last time. Thank you, I said.